All right, well, I'm gonna try my best to, you know, uh, give you guys the basics on how to troubleshoot a furnace with like no tools, because I've been doing it for about like 5 years, and sometimes I'll run to a place where, the troubleshooting was so easy, it was ridiculous, and my company charges like $120 to come out there and take a look. $100 is like roughly the average. Um, but yeah, so basically what I do is when I first come to a house, go to the thermostat, right? If it's blank, check your batteries. All right. Yeah, just check the batteries. The thermostat should pull off. Sometimes they have like a little slot for the batteries or whatever. Just check it, right? So I'll go to the thermostat, turn on the heat, and we'll turn it up just to kick it on. And basically what you want to do is you want to listen. You want to listen, hear, feel. You're going to have, well, usually furnaces, oops, a little too close. You're going to have two panels. You're going to have the top one and the bottom one. The one that has the grill looking thing, that's the one you want to take off. Just to look at it and stuff. And then the top one is the one you want to leave on. But you're going to want to take the bottom one off. Since mine's a downflow, it's going to be the bottom. Yours might be an upflow, so it might be the top. So mine slides up and then pulls away. That's just how it is. Some of them have knobs, some of them have levers or whatever. Basically, you just want to get the panel off, the one that has this section, right? Now, if you accidentally take the panel off for the other section, you want to put it back on because there's a door switch. And if that isn't closed, it's not going to work. So mine's an older furnace, so I have I don't know if you guys heard the clicking or not, but I have a spark igniter with a little pilot hood and a flame sensor. And then did you hear that other click? That means the gas valve just clicked. So now it's pumping gas, and since mine's older, it's just takes a little minute. But yeah, so I'm gonna walk you through the basic operations. This is basically what a furnace does, right? You got your main power coming in. Worst comes to worst, you always want to reset your power. Basically, my main power, you're going to have wires, right? Since mine has cooling and heating, I have one small wire for the thermostat, one small wire for the condenser. Then I have one MC cable or one big wire for the power, right? And if I go like this, I don't know why they did that, but here's my fuse and power switch, right? So basically your furnace gets the main power, right? Comes in, powers up your furnace, and in there's a board that converts, well, there's a transformer that converts your 120 down to 24 volts, low voltage, which runs through these smaller wires. Back over to your thermostat, right? Now, your thermostat is just basically a switch with a sensor. When the sensor says it's too cold and you want heat, it closes the switch. Shit. Well, if I take this off, mine, I don't know why, it just resets. But basically, you have wires. You got your R, is where your 24 comes in. You got a common, which I wired up. You got a W. Oh my god, I'm not even aiming at it. Alright, you got an R for power, C for common, W for heat, Y for cooling, G for fan. Basically, there's a sensor in here, and there's a switch, like a relay on this board that closes the contacts between these pins. Oh, hey, it stayed. Well, okay. So basically, when it senses heat, it's going to pass power from R to W, okay? I'll explain that later in another video or something. But basically, okay, if you want to troubleshoot with no tools or whatever, you come in, turn this on, set it to high. You're hearing the clicks, right? Mine's a older furnace, so it has a spark igniter. You can see the spark. Yeah, you guys can see that spark. And then, I don't know if you guys can see the flame just caught. Let me see if I could. Wonder. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So the igniter goes, and once the flame catches, then there's going to be flame. It's going to be heating up a flame sensor. Actually, looks like mine's an igniter flame sensor combo. So the igniter is also a flame sensor on mine. Mine's older furnace. It all varies, but after it heats up, then it's going to tell the board that there is flame present. And then the board is going to go through the safeties. You know, it's going to check your high limits and shit's blurry. It's going to check your high limits and all that good stuff and your rollouts, and then it'll send power to the gas valve. You guys heard that click. You know, mine's older. So basically, when you turn the thermostat on to heat, you should hear a click, and you should hear a spark igniter going click, 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 click. Or if you guys have a hot surface igniter, you're gonna shit, mine's so old it vents through natural heat rise. But sometimes you guys will hear a motor, an inducer motor. I'll get another video on like a newer furnace, but you'll hear an inducer motor running, and that will run for 30 seconds, right? Roughly. Then you're gonna hear another click, and you're gonna see, if you have a hot surface igniter, you're gonna see like this stick in there just start glowing bright red, right? Then it's gonna send power to your gas valve, and it's gonna send gas, and you're gonna see the flames ignite just like this, right? Then if the flames stay lit for, let's just say 5 seconds and turn off, you want to take a look at your flame sensor, because the newer furnaces now, they got like a little flame sensor stick over here, and then they got like a hot surface igniter over here. So you're going to see this guy glow red, right? Then you're going to see the flames, and if that only stays lit for like 5 seconds and turns off, your flame sensor over here, you want to take it out, and you want to clean it with like a little bit of sandpaper. But that's when you get tools and stuff. This is for when you don't have tools. You know, you just want to take this panel off. Sometimes panels, they'll have a couple screws in them, so you may or may not need a 5/16 or a 1/4 inch driver. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to run into the ones with the knobs, or the hand screws, or the levers, or the, you know, the ones that just slide in. But yeah. Yeah. You know, once you see the flame right there, the flame sensor is going to read it. It's going to heat up the heat exchanger, and then your blower is going to come on. I don't know if you guys heard my blower come on, but yeah, blower is going to come on. So I mean, it all really depends on what your symptoms are. If you guys are watching this, I know something's wrong with your furnace, and you don't want to, you know, pay the $100 or whatever, and try to get someone to figure it out. So you try to do it yourself, and yeah, it all depends on your symptoms. If your thermostat's blank, check the batteries, or it could be, you know, a number of things. It could be maybe your transformer's bad if it's hooked up to common like mine, or there might be a break in the wire or something. But check your batteries. If your thermostat is fine, you turn it to heating and you don't hear it click, you maybe want to check your board. You want to probably check your igniter or something. Trying to think, little tricks of the trade. Sometimes this wire right here, this big rubber wire, will rub out and ground. So I mean, one way to do it is, I don't know if you feel safe doing this or not, because this thing is high voltage. I forget what it does. I think it's like 1,000 volt or something, but it's like low ass amps. Like, I don't even know what the amps is, but it's the more voltage, the easier it is to arc. This is high volts. I don't even know how many volts it is, but it's low amps. What you want to do is you want to take this tube off, and then you want to get like maybe some with like a rubber hand, maybe scissors would work. I don't know, something with like a rubber handle, or even wrap it with a towel or something, or wear some like rubber gloves and put some leather gloves on. Shit, put leather gloves on and some rubber gloves and wrap it in a towel, and hold your scissors right with the rubber handles or whatever. And then you want to get the metal part of the scissors maybe like 1/8 of an inch away from the, sometimes it'll have a little prong, sometimes there's just gonna be like a little metal rod or whatever that connects this hose to here, right? Actually, I wonder, yeah, see, just like that. See, and then I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, basically, or you could do what I just did if you feel comfortable enough. But there's a, there's like a little metal rod, and you can just get the scissors close, and if you see it start igniting, then you know it's good. But if you don't see it igniting down here, then you know maybe it's something with the tubing, or you know. And troubleshooting is all about fucking, you know, splitting it, you know, just like I did here. Like if I don't see anything coming from here, then I know it's something back here, because there's one path for troubleshooting. Like right here, look, like here's your start, right, and then it goes all the way to your finish, right? So basically, like what I did right here is I probably cut the path maybe about like here, right, by taking that wire off. Now if I started seeing the little spark, then I know that the spark is going through here, and I can move down the troubleshooting ladder, you know. Now it may be somewhere in this wire. Now I look right here, see if it's rubbed out, and that's probably like down here on the ladder, right? Now if it's not rubbed out, then I go further. But if it is rubbed out, then I know that's where it is. But let's say it's not rubbed out, then I go further down the troubleshooting line, and now I look down here, like say if that that rod has to be like, I think it's like 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch away or whatever, check that, you know. But see, if I wasn't getting a little spark right there, then it's got to probably be this part, the igniter box, right, or whatever you want to call it. Or it could be the board. Maybe the board's not sending the power to the igniter box, you know, that's down here on the ladder scope of things. What else? Another trick of the trade is that flame. If your flame sensor over time oxidation gets on the flame sensor and doesn't read the flame as good anymore, so you just want to take it out and take a little bit of sandpaper and just lightly sand it. That's it, just lightly, you know. You don't want to scrub it out because it's got like a coating on it. Just lightly sand it, put it back in. I think usually it's just a little 1/4 inch. Get one of those like long I want to say they're 6-inch, long 6-inch 1/4 inch drivers. But yeah, sand that down, put it in, you know. Yeah. Well, it's been like 14 minutes. I think I can only make 15-minute videos, but I'll make another video and teach you guys some more stuff. But yeah, I mean, just check the thermostat, you know, just let it run through the sequence of operations. That's what it is, you know. Yeah. Catch y'all guys later.